never shine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! Stay very hot! Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub in the hot tub! Rubber dub with me! Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah!
Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me wet?
Yeah! Well. Hey, good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. In my wildest dreams, I did not believe we would be sitting here talking about the great state of Florida football, where UCF and Miami are the kings. FSU to be 0-2, to lose to Boston College, to lose to Georgia Tech. I didn't see that company.
No.
Florida Gators to be as bad. Coach Spurrier, you disappoint me. Coach Spurrier made some comments. I'll get into that maybe more today or tomorrow, what he had to say about the Gators. But, Coach, I listened to you. You watched them practice. I picked 2 weeks ago Miami to win. I listened to Spurrier, and I was wrong. Jason, you are still the king of picks. You right now were 18-19. Tommy Santamont was 18-19. The king of picks, though, is sitting behind the glass. He did not miss one. Every single one by Wildcat. It just goes to show you, Jason.
Not even lightning could stop me.
Well, that lightning bottle you're drinking, it just gave you knowledge that we had no idea you had.
That's
Took
right.
me to another place.
Congratulations.
A John Travolta and phenomenon.
And our phones are ringing off the hook already. Both lines are.
Well, keep on calling, baby. Keep on calling.
So we'll get to those in a minute.
Is that why you're wearing that UK shirt? Because
Hey, they beat the hard. Not only did they win, they embarrassed the University of Southern Mississippi. And I kept telling my brother I was in town. He said, "Hey, we're a lot better. We got a lot of transfer players. We're doing a lot better. Got a lot of kids from Ole Miss, Mississippi State, other schools that were upset. They come to Southern Mississippi." I said, "Yeah, they really helped. We're terrible. Bless their hearts. We just don't have any NIL money. We don't. We just don't. If you don't have NIL money now,
that's what it's boiling
you're not
down
going to
to.
make it.
I know Florida State fans don't want to hear this, but I don't think they have enough to battle with the elite.
Not what they got to battle with.
And I think they got unrealistic expectations from last year, and this is just a program that's going to have to build,
Or did they just make a poor decisions who they brought? You got, like Saban said, you can spend $20 million. It's who you bring in. You better be careful who you bring in.
Yep,
There's
question.
no leadership at Florida State, in my opinion.
No.
Help me. I didn't see any fire drive.
Yeah, I really expected them to come out and play with their hair on fire, and they didn't. They were very flat. It looked a lot like Georgia Tech. It's like, this is like two games of the same team. I mean, the same game. It's just very flat, just not a lot of effort. It's just like, I don't get it. I didn't expect it at all.
Are we more critical now of certain our players because they're now being paid? They're all professional like NFL?
No.
In the past, you didn't really go off on them.
I mean, you'd think we would because they are getting paid, but no, and not in my heart, and I don't think in Jim's heart either. Are we saying, well, you're making money now, you got to play harder? These kids are college players, and they go in there and they play with their hearts. I don't think they're playing with their wallets yet.
Okay. Well, the way you kill us in picks, I'm going to let you be the king of that. You're right. I made the statement. Should we be able to be more critical of college players now that they're professionals or making money? In the NFL, you blast them. In college, you were amateur players. You didn't do that so much in the past. I'm not going to do it. But I will say this. I'm disappointed in the quarterback. I never really was a big believer. He's not the. I know he's not the whole
he's not
problem.
that good. He's not that good. He's not. He played okay in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he has
yesterday, not so much. But he had a lot of drops too. But he's not the answer.
No, and he's just not processing information like at a normal speed that you see from a fifth-year, sixth-year quarterback, and that's really hurting them. I don't know what their game plan was. You needed to come out and establish the run and take some pressure off of him.
I thought about you last night.
He ran the ball 6 times in the first half for 10 yards. I mean, you just can't do that. You still have to attempt to, but their inside offensive line got killed.
When I watched, Jim and I talked, it's like it wasn't the effort you'd expect.
Right.
You could just see their body language. And I thought, Jason pointed out, why would you go halfway around the world to play a game, come back and have to play a game again and not have an open week? Even Georgia Tech had to do it, and they didn't look as good.
No.
They won, but they didn't look as good. Those going out of the country games, I'd never do that. I wouldn't.
And what's the point? You're not a national brand. I mean, a world brand. You're not,
You're not Alabama.
trying to get it.
You're not Alabama.
No. And you're not trying to get
Ohio
fans
State.
out of Ireland. I mean, it means
Let's
nothing.
bring this caller in. Let's get an opinion from someone else. Good morning, sir. I hope this is Travis.
This is me. So, Saturday, I was going to call this morning, real upset about Saturday, but then beautiful Monday comes along, and I couldn't really be more happy.
The Gators are back.
So it's not Florida winning that you strive for. If FSU's miserable, you're happy. I understand. Is that what you're telling me?
It was a true hold my beer moment.
So it's funny because my wife on Saturday, sitting there watching the game with me, she's like, oh, it's all right and everything. Whenever I get all mad and I was yelling at the TV and walking around the room and cussing up a storm. And then Monday, while she's doing it, I'm over there with a smile ear to ear, laughing and having fun. And that might not be the way to act, but it's the way I did.
Hey,
We all do it.
Yeah.
is Napier going to make it, or is he even going to make it through the season?
I have for 2 years now, and y'all know I have been calling and saying, keep Napier. He's going to do good and everything. After that performance, after what I've seen, after what the Miami players did, what they were allowed to do after the game, I'm done. And then he gets on the press conference and he blames the fans. Like, what? He goes, I don't know if y'all saw it, but he said, well, if we could get our football players playing football instead of worried about some basement dweller in Central Florida. I'm like, what? we were all rooting for you, and the team, and we were buying in and all this, and then you go out and flat out embarrass everybody that's a fan, and it's just
Did you see the report where, I don't know if it's true or not, but everybody on social media was talking about it, after the game, him and the Gator mascot almost got into it. They were
I saw
arguing.
that.
That'd been
one
awesome.
time.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding.
What
Did
if
you
the
see
Gator
it?
jumped the coach?
Was that true, or was that just somebody just post something?
I think it was somebody that posted something. I'm not seeing any real news.
Yeah. Sounded good, though. It was fun.
I think the problem with Florida is they have no president, so they're not going to get rid of the AD. The AD hired, Napier, so he's going to go down with the ship.
Look who he's hired.
Oh, I know. It's been bad. So
Yeah.
are they going to give him a fourth opportunity to get this right? I doubt it.
Pat
but they don't have
Dooley has
president.
a podcast, and
Yeah.
he's supposed to come on every Thursday. He's pulled out.
Yeah, he
he's
canceled.
completely pulled out.
I want to know if that's
Well-
something that they might make a decision, or is he just being a coward? Because if he is, that's pretty bad. They need to get rid of him.
So
Probably a little bit of both.
I'm hearing a lot on why he pulled out of that podcast. There was some rumors that boosters were on Twitter talking about how there was an emergency meeting because Napier apparently. Now, I have only heard this from this one post that somebody commented on, that Napier stole from the military proceeds last year when we wore those black uniforms and they were auctioned off, and it was supposed to go towards the military, and he stole from it.
Wait, time out.
Whoa,
The
that's
man's
a big
making
accusation.
millions of dollars. I don't think he's going to steal from that.
That sounds like the Urban Meyer kick the
Yeah.
kicker story. They're just trying to find a reason to get rid of him.
They're looking for anything they can get, make it up or not. I would be shocked if that was true. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I would be too, but they're saying that boosters were spilling the beans on Twitter. I don't know. And there was some kind of emergency meeting.
they might have
because
did
of it.
that and blamed it on him so they get rid of him.
Well, yeah, that's what somebody else said. That's just a free way to not have to pay his buyout.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
They're gonna look for stuff.
25.5 or 26, whatever you want to call it. They owe him if they get rid of him.
How did
this
we
year.
get this point in college football, though? You're paying Jimbo Fisher, what, $75 million not the coach?
It's not the coach.
How did
He
we
wants to
get
come
here?
back, though. I had a big write-up about all that. Never got to do it any last week. He wants to get back into coaching. He's going to look, but he's not going to take any job. West Virginia might be coming open.
Can we start the Dion to FSU rumors now?
Dion, come on home, Dion. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. All right, I want everybody to listen to me. And this is kind of political, and I don't care. They're crucifying Dion because he won't answer questions from certain media members. And we got two idiots running for president that won't answer any questions, but the media doesn't say anything about that, but they're trying to crucify a black head college football coach.
True.
I don't get it. You're going to go after Deion Sanders for not answering, because the guy's been blasting. A couple of guys have blasted him in the papers up there in Colorado, and this one national guy. So Feinbaum and some of the national ESPN people are blasting him because he wouldn't answer certain questions. Some guy's bad-mouthing him real bad, and his family, yet they don't say a word about two people running for the presidency, not answering questions. Come on, people. Wake up, man.
Yeah.
Leave Dion alone.
Apply your anger equally.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a little political here, too. I'm running for Lane Kiffin, Florida Gators.
Whoa. Time out. What did I tell y'all a year ago who's going to be the coach of Florida?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Lane Kiffin will be the next coach at Florida if he wants it. And I think he does.
Or at LSU,
I don't
maybe.
see why he wouldn't.
Who?
LSU.
Or maybe LSU's better. I don't know.
I don't see why he wouldn't.
I know it's a dig at me. I told you Brian Kelly's a lead coach. Yeah, right.
But Florida needs a coach. They need someone explosive. I want somebody hopping on the sideline, getting into it, and not with like Billy's just. I don't know. Like I said, I've been on the, give him a chance train. I'm now on the get him out of here because, did you see after the game, Miami went to our recruits.
That's smart. That's smart.
They were able, nobody stopped them and was saying, don't go here. This place sucks. Go to Miami. They were shaking hands.
Travis. I was in Tuscaloosa when the president was at the game. LSU, Coach O was head coach. They beat Alabama, and I saw the exact same thing. They didn't leave the field. They went over where all the recruits were sitting because they all recruit the elite players, and they were saying the exact, come to LSU, not here. These people are sorry. I saw the first thing. Yeah. They did the exact same thing in that game, so that's nothing really.
Somebody should have stopped them. That's
They could for 48 minutes.
Winning will stop them.
If you could stop them on the offensive defensive line, you sure ain't going to beat them up after the game.
Anyway.
It just was, I don't know.
Yeah.
But enough of that. Enough of my depressing stuff. Let's talk about how bad Florida State was yesterday. It was so beautiful. And I got a call tomorrow with Coach Manley, and I'm hoping
he's on death watch. We got people. Right? He's on suicide alert. Somebody made a comment last night. Got kind of mad. That says Glenn coaching the defense at FSU.
Yeah, it was you.
Anyway, hey, listen, Travis. I hate to do it, but we got to take a break, man. Thanks for calling. You have a great day, and go Gators.
Go Gators. Thank y'all for taking my call.
Thank you, buddy.
I've been in Florida since 1983, and I have never, ever thought I'd ever see the day when Florida and Florida State are
this bad.
What I took away from last night is he just looks like he's under a tremendous amount of pressure, and they're just not handling that pressure.
Who, Norvell, you mean?
Yeah. The decisions they make, going on 4th and 13, early in the game, down one score, that was just a desperation play. And just, throwing DJ, how many times they throw the ball? You put the game in his hands, and you knew he wasn't handling it very good. Throw Brock Glenn in there. Give anybody else a chance. It wasn't working. They just.
I don't think it's very professional. Him call him Tuscaloosa and say I've changed my mind. I thought that was rude.
I think you guys got lucky. I'll be honest.
No, Napier. Hey,
I like Norvell.
You know what the bottom line is? They're on these coaches so hard.
Oh, for sure.
And they really is too much. It truly is. But this day and time is your decision who you bring in, who you don't. Chemistry of a team's everything. And you bring all these different players in there.
And you're getting $8-9 million a year now. All these coaches.
He said it perfectly. They look like there's no leadership. They're just flat. They don't play. And maybe it was the trip. I don't know. But we keep making excuses for them. Right. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
No, when it's after a week after that game, I don't think they'll ever do that again.
No.
But I think that's just an excuse. I think I think their problems go way deeper than
It
that.
has to be, yeah. There's something in practice.
But all this
something in
talk, the
locker room.
best defensive front they've ever had, the best offensive line
not even
he's
close.
seen. Come on, man.
That's a slap in the face of all the guys that
Oh,
played
yeah.
Florida State in the
They've had
80s and
some good
90s
ones.
and early 2000s. Come on now. It's not even close.
No, Jared, the rumor Napier got beat up by the mascot, I don't think that's true. I don't believe that is true.
Is that Jared Hale put that out there?
Yeah, he said.
I'm hoping
But
it
everybody
is.
was saying it. Everybody was saying
That
that.
would be like a true.
That
Come
would
on,
be
Jared.
embarrassing. You get beat
That
like
would
that,
be.
0-2, then you or 0-1, then you get beat up in the locker room.
Jimbo would get beat up by his fans. He's beating the fans up.
Yeah, there you go. Good people. I saw some of our great people. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. What's going on down there, Jason? Good week. Good week today, this week, right?
Yeah, we had a good Labor Day yesterday. We have, still our InBody 570 athletes. You can utilize that. It's free to use. Come in, check your body fat, check your muscle mass, see how you're growing over the seasons, maintain that muscle, see if you're getting enough protein in. And we have our free sample bar. We got some new products in. We got a cappuccino isolate that has about 40 milligrams of caffeine, so not really a lot, but if you like getting, a little protein in the morning with a little caffeine, we got a really good isolate in. And we got an iced coffee in that has like 20 grams of protein. That is a real coffee. It's got 125 milligrams of caffeine as well. So we're not just sports oriented. We're for a little bit of everything. And we do have our sports formula multivitamin and greens that are really, really high level for athletes, mom, dad, for everybody. So come down and just utilize our free sample bar and try out some great products.
Man, what a weekend in athletics, high school football.
Great weekend.
Man, Mosley, I'm not crowning them king yet, but they're getting close.
They're good.
They're getting close.
Yeah.
Mosley looks like the real deal.
They're well
Arnold,
coached.
2-0, baby. How about that?
Good job.
We got those scores. But Jason, this week in college football picks, Wildcat knocked out of the ballpark, undefeated. But we didn't ask him all the tough questions. But
I didn't get all the tough ones. I got the wiggle out of some of them, but I got
you got
the big
main
ones.
Yeah, you did. You did a good job. Jim didn't get any right.
He wasn't here, though.
I wasn't here, but that's.
He picked Akron for you, though.
He had Akron. He had Southern Mississippi. The national powers he did stick with. Let's talk about some of our great people. J. Michael's Restaurant was there last night. Had a great time. It was packed out last night, man. Got in there. Finally got home to get to watch the FSU game. But get out J. Michael's, best seafood, coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. For all of you real estate closing, it's Chuck Tucker, South Oak Todd and Closing. The big realtors on 38, multi-million-dollar homes, they all use South Oak Todd and Closing. You should too, regardless of how much you're buying or how little you're buying or whatever. Like Jason bought that little tiny place for about $50,000. That's okay, Jason. That's what you can afford. That's what you get. South Oak Todd, I'm kidding. South Oak Todd and Closing, #1, not even close. Stevenson Air Conditioners, #1 at everything they do. If you're having problems getting it, you know what? It's going to start getting cooler. I saw we got a front coming through here. Up in Kentucky, the high one day is going to be like 69. Lows in the 40s up in Kentucky.
54 degrees.
Bring it on.
Come on, bring it down here, man. Get
Love
these. Anyway,
That's football.
Stevenson Air Conditioning. You got them. You got it all. They are #1. They do a great job. Love Jason, the crew down there. Family owned. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. You want to have the best happy hour? It's there. Buy one, get one free. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN. The home of the Auburn Tigers and Andy Burcham. War Eagle.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
I follow a lot of soccer and basketball on Instagram, and you have some of these NBA players that are like, whoa, man, the Europeans, they're working on fundamentals at a young age, where we're just going to tournaments and playing these games. They're really learning the game inside out before they start.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and some clouds and a high of 92 with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 11 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and a high around 86. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved clients drowning in tax debt. And IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your official radio home of the Atlanta Braves.
Belton, deep left field, stay fair, gone!
The Atlanta Braves march to the World Series happens here. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Little Joe Walsh.
Is that what that was? That was
Mark 49.
All right, we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. High school football. Let's go down real quick. We got Coach. I hope we got Coach Floyd. Rutherford 21. Heartbreaking loss. Bluntstown 27. I think that was an overtime. Maybe
it was three overtimes. I think.
Overtimes.
Yeah, you got Sneeze lost to Seminole County 38-14. Jay beats Freeport 34-6. You got Arnold, yes sir, Arnold 2-0, 47. Hamilton County 14.
Nice.
Bay played well at the beginning of the game. Mosley flexes his muscles 53-15. Mosley is the king. Looks that way. Bozeman, good job by Bozeman. 41-3 Vernon.
Nice. Good bounce back game for them. North
Bay Haven, North Florida Christian. I don't have a score of that one. South Walton versus Fort Walton Beach. I got this one right, 9-7 Fort Walton Beach. A lot bigger school. Port St. Joe, Holmes County. Holmes County in a shootout, 44-36. Good job by them. We got a lot of people at Holmes County listen to us every day. Appreciate you guys up there. Destin at Baker. Baker 26-21 over Destin. Chipley 28. Lennon 18. That's a team out of Alabama. Then you had Mariana 35. The zip over Liberty County. Mariana's got a great running back up there. Then you've got Walton and Crestview. Crestview 28. They win that one 28-21. Now, let's bring Coach Floyd on. I tell you what, he does a great job. They're getting better and better every year under his leadership. Coach, great job you're doing over there. Heartbreaking loss. I got to see some highlights. I saw some big plays by your offense. Talk about the game and give us some names who's playing well.
Yes, sir. We came out. We scored, got the ball first. We scored first. So game 7-0. Got out, but didn't break on defense on a fourth down. Then we had a man coverage call. DB just kind of let the guy go upfield. So we kind of gave them that touchdown. Kind of, I could see if they beat us on a route, blah, blah, blah. But when you kind of give those, it's heartbreaking. So I think we gave up 14 that we feel like we shouldn't have gave up. But those guys are pretty tough. But as far as we had on the offense side of the ball, because Zion Rochelle had 4 catches. He's a junior wide receiver for 84 yards and a touchdown. Then we had Braylon Hurd as a junior on defensive side of the ball. He kind of got it turned around. As far as the secondary, he had 2 interceptions, and one of them returned for about 50 yards. As far as the running it went, the quarterback had about 33 rushing yards, another 50 from Roman Holmes, another 20 to 30 from Chasson Scott. We didn't get the running as well as we wanted to run it. We threw it pretty solid. I don't think the kid had any interceptions at all Friday night, but we had several guys playing well. The most exciting part about it is how they responded after being down and not getting the ball back at half. Also, if we was 5 or 6 years in the program, I'd be pissed. and just saying, laying down the law that we can't lose those kind of games, can't give those games away. But being young, I don't feel like we gave it away. I feel like those guys need to go through this so they can add it to their book of experience. And now when we get into another situation like this, maybe our guys can pull it off.
And now you get ready to play a team that's 2-0. Chipley's always a physical football team. They always have good players there. Speed-wise, you got some guys who can run pretty well. Well, how do you feel like you match up physically with Chipley?
I think, on our schedule, I think we match up physically with everyone. But Chipley has lots of speed. We have some speed, but they have a pretty good quarterback that kind of makes everything go. And we're probably not going to stop them, but if we slow those guys down, slow them down from, not just breaking on every run. I think we like our chances at the end of the ball game, but Chipley's tough. Coach Buchanan has been doing a great job since he's been over at Chipley, kind of bringing that program back from the bottom back up, and big on the weights, big on conditioning, just a hard-nosed guy. So, man, we know we're going to come in and play against a tough Chipley team, who I think we have their eye also, so they're not going to overlook us. They're coming in and trying to win a football game. So, week 3. Rutherford Rams versus Chipley going to be another tough, hard-fought game. And we're trying to pull one out in the fourth quarter.
I look at their schedule, and it's not comparable to what you've had to play so far. So I think your guys will be tested, ready to go. You've played Mosley. You played Bluntstone, 2 teams that got really good players, good athletes. So like the job you're doing over there. So I think this week's going to be pretty good for you, I hope.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
What about injury-wise? Did you come out of the game healthy?
Man, we lost one of our D tackles, young guy, sophomore. He broke his finger early late in the first quarter. Broke his finger, so he may be out a couple weeks. Last week, I don't think we mentioned the injury report, but Savion Black had broke his leg, so we was down to safety. Down a D tackle, but that's our starting free safety. He didn't play last game. I think he'll be out for about 6 weeks.
Wow.
But we had another guy that kind of plays that spot. We had him in a different spot. We put him back there, plug and play. But the D tackle, man, it affects us when it comes down to depth. But as far as we don't have a star down there, we just kind of go through rotations, and hopefully the next guy can step up and just plug and play.
Have you had an opportunity to watch FSU play this year, or did you get to watch Florida Miami at all?
Yes, sir. I'm a Florida fan, so I watched, and then I watched Miami and Florida, and I watched Georgia Tech, and then I watched last night Florida State.
What's your take on it? I mean, to me, it looks like there's not a lot of leadership on the FSU's team. And we could be wrong. It just looked like they were kind of flat or whatever. Are you surprised at both the programs where they're at right now?
Well, Coach, as far as when you see things like that, I don't get caught up into trying to guess what's going on with that program, because a lot of times if you're not in that program, regardless of what it looks like on the outside, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's being affected. You don't know who's acting how. So it's kind of hard, man. You still see good talent on the field, on the gridiron with both of those teams. It just, may just be a point to where they just haven't gelled on messages early on, because, Florida State, they have a lot of same guys on defense, but it's a totally different team. And I'm not a Florida State fan, but it's a totally different team really on offense, and trying to get it to gel and mesh, it takes longer sometimes for offense to get it going.
All right, man. Hey, listen, I just got a text in here, and it shows the Titanic sinking, and it's got Florida State band playing the war chant over and over. Man, the people that think this stuff up are crazy.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, my God. Hey, listen, you have a great day. You're doing a great job. We'll talk to you next week, Coach.
Yes, sir, Coach. Have a great one.
Man. Appreciate you, sir. Good job. All right, we got another phone call. Let's take this call. Oh, we don't. We got FSU when we get back. Let's take a break. Let's talk about some of our great people. I did talk about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. We had a great time. Took my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, my brother down there, and we had a wonderful time. Buy one, get one free. Lunch specials every single day. Right across the street from the Navy base. Great place. Go by and see David. Tell him Coach sent you. Any type of injury, Dr. Chad Mitchell is there for you. This is his 25th year on Bay County sidelines. He'll be on the sidelines. It's coming up Friday night, and we'll have him next Monday right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Man, let me tell you what. I saw Jan and Trudy at the Cajun place. We had a birthday party down there for my sister-in-law. We had 14 people there. Place was packed out. They are doing an incredible job. The wings, the best you'll get anywhere. $5 pitchers when the games are going on. If you're at the LSU game last night, I did not make it to the LSU game on Sunday night. I did not make it there. But if they score a touchdown and you got something wearing LSU colors or their shirt with LSU on or something like that, you get a free Jell-O shot. Same thing when the Saints play. But everybody's back. The Cajun place is back with locals. It's packed out. Everybody's watching college football there, having a wonderful time. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. I saw Big John down at Paparazzi. He's looking mighty fine. Saw him and his beautiful wife. You love pizza. That's the only place you want to go is Paparazzi. My brother and I went there. We had one lunch special. And my brother couldn't believe the size of the slice of pizzas you get there. All you need is to get one. $11 and change. Just buy an extra drink. Unbelievable food there. Lasagna, spaghetti. They got a bar there that's doing really well. Paparazzi, again, on Thomas Drive. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. Cannot wait to hear him tomorrow talk about the Florida Gators getting beat and FSU getting beat. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 49% rating, the U.S.
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
On the run, punt! Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? To the end zone, touchdown, Georgia!
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU Update is brought to you by the Originals. All 4 of them. Newbies. Get out and have a great time at Newbies. Newbies 2 on the curb to go at your all sporting event. Get out to the mothership, have a wonderful time later tonight. And then US and St. Andrews. Beautiful facility over there. Great for newbies. And Charlotte's always giving back to the community. Her and John always give back. Let's make sure we get out to all the newbies and support them. Wonderful people, big-time FSU people. Even though John was a great player at Miami and in the NFL. Before we get into FSU, let's bring Mike on. Mike. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, sir. Did you watch any football this weekend?
Yes, I did.
Who's there with you today?
Jim Bob and Jason Kovaleski and Wildcat.
Okay, I got. This is not for you because I know you probably know this. I got a trivia question for both of them. We can double team it like a block. Who was the first coach to install a radio receiver in his quarterback's helmet?
Paul Brown.
Thank you, Jim Bob. I knew you would get it. You didn't have to even consult Jason. Darn right. Paul Brown. And he was coaching whom?
I think the Browns.
You're right again. Ding, 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 ding. Now let me ask Coach Hale a question. Why would you run the veer?
Why would you what?
Why would you run the veer offense?
Because it doesn't take a lot of big, huge offensive linemen. You can have any size offering, come off the ball quickly. You don't have to block their best player. You can read him. That's what I always heard.
Reads, little things. I tell you what else. Here's the reason why 1A school, say maybe Fayette Tech up there in Geneva County, which there isn't a such thing, would have run it. It's if they lost all their fullbacks. They were running the wishbone back in the Bryant era.
Yeah.
And you had one fullback that decided he wanted to cheer, and he wasn't queer. You had another one who got caught by his daddy with a case of beer, and his daddy was the Baptist minister. And then the third fullback, he had to center the ball after the center got injured to his cousin because, you have to put your hands up under there to run the veer.
Yeah.
You don't run the veer with a shotgun. Anyway, so that's when you run the veer in Class A. Anyway, but nobody runs that stuff anymore.
They should, but they don't.
Yeah, it's a pity. I like running the ball, man. I'm a big, because I lacked arm talent myself. My daughters call me the quarterback. I said, well, I hadn't started since 6th grade. What are you talking about? I don't sound like one of them fine ball callers. Anyway, I got a question for you. It's personal for me. Should I wear red or orange in Raleigh Saturday?
Orange.
Red.
I don't want to start some fight.
Orange.
Wear gray,
orange,
probably.
man. Wear those sins to be proud.
You afraid to rock that orange?
Are you afraid of NC State fans?
I'm not afraid of nothing, buddy. I got a multi-poo and several guns, but don't tell the VA police.
Wear that orange.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. But let me tell you a great Alabama story. I once sat at the top of the student section end zone in Birmingham and watched Cornelius Bennett and Derek Thomas lose to a team that had to use a second-string quarterback. Anyway, I won't mention who it was. But a guy from my neighborhood, my homie, he was at Alabama then. I was out. And then another guy from my neighborhood who works with Coach Bryant, even though he was dead, he was with me. And then there was some chick from Kentucky who I might have married later. I don't know, or actually I was already married to her. But I sat there quietly. Well, when Tony Robinson, great Tallahassee guy, got hurt, blew his knee out, I'm sitting there, and one of the Alabama fans says, "Don't worry. Can I say Dickie on the air? Let's call him Rudy." Anyway, Daryl Rudy, like Rudy's Barbecue, he came on and he whipped y'all. But y'all came through in the end, though, because at the end of the season, Van Tiffin put Auburn in their place. Y'all have a wonderful. By the way, thank you, Auburn, for playing Alabama A&M. At least y'all will play teams from Alabama. Alabama doesn't. Bye.
All right, let's get into FSU. Jim, what do you got for us today on the mighty?
Heard there was a game last night.
If you've been with us since the start of the show, we've talked about some of the stuff that we were going to talk about now, but I'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells had a great line about coaching and your record. He says, you are what your record says you are. Yeah. And put all those excuses about traveling to Ireland. Come on now. These guys are 20-something years old. They can bounce back after a week.
And both teams had the same experience. So.
All right. To me, their problems go real deep, and I think it's an NIL money thing, and I really expected Florida State to come out yesterday and play with a little bit of fire in their tank.
Yeah.
Dang,
backs against the wall.
You guys say you got screwed last year and you got left out. The comeback tour, okay, you stumbled the first game. I'm thinking, man, they're going to get after it. And they didn't.
Yeah.
It looked like the same thing against Georgia Tech, this continuation of the same thing. And I was only kind of half paying attention. And I said, they've only run 3 plays the first quarter. I've been in football my whole life. Boston College had the ball the entire quarter except for 3 plays. And it's like, wow. So with that in mind, and it's the same old story. I'm going to just give you a couple stats to kind of point out Florida State's issues. The number one to me, as an offensive line coach, they can't run the ball.
No.
In 2 games, they've run the ball. This is Florida State now. They've run the ball 46 times. 47 times, counting the long touchdown run that they had against Boston College, or not, but Georgia State. You take that out, they've got 46 carries for 91 yards.
Good God!
Now, math will tell us that's less than 2 yards a carry, people.
Wow!
And here's also the other thing. I think, and the easy knee-jerk reaction is, well, DJ sucks. He's no good.
Right?
Yeah, he's probably not the best quarterback. But on offense, you have to establish some kind of rhythm.
Right.
And if I'm playing defense against Florida State, to talk about the running game, why would you ever worry about DJ running the ball? You can run all that fake option and all that. I would never. Guys, forget DJ.
Yeah.
If he does pull it, we'll tackle him.
Right.
Don't worry about it. They have to do something on offense. They have to. I mean, I don't know that DJ's the answer. I don't know who else they got in their roster. Brock Glenn certainly didn't light it up last year. And that Cromenhoek, or however you pronounce his name, who's a freshman, he's a freshman. I don't know that he's ready. But they have to do something to get a little bit of spark on offense. And then the second thing, same thing on defense. They can't stop the run. I mean, Boston College only threw the ball like 16 times. They ran the ball the entire game.
I got to give
and couldn't stop
their head coach credit. I never thought he would call a game like he did O'Brien. He did a good job.
Yeah, we were
play
talking about that last night.
Because I blasted him when he was Alabama.
And he deserved to be blasted because of the talent y'all had and the plays he made on 3rd and short, second and short. But I mean, when you take Florida State's roster, Boston College would take Florida State's roster every day. Bill O'Brien took a team in there and whooped them on national TV.
They played harder. They got after it.
The saddest thing is they took it easy on Florida State. They could have put 42 on them if they really wanted to. They took a deal at the end that would have made it 35. I mean, I think they were running the ball when they could have really opened it up late in the 3rd quarter as well. I mean, they actually took it a little easy on Florida State.
Let's take this call real quick.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who is this?
Georgia Bulldog.
Hey, where you been, Big Daddy?
Man, I hadn't called in because I hadn't had time, and I just wanted to call in and just say, the teams in Florida have swapped power. Miami has taken over, and all these Gators and Knowles, and oh my goodness, that's so terrible. Florida looks so bad.
What about them Bulldogs, man? This big, huge game against Clemson, they beat them like a drum.
Just a warm up. Just a warm up for the big games. We'll see. We didn't show everything we got. Our D-line's a little wounded a little bit, but we'll be all right.
You ain't kidding.
I think everybody had a couple places they would need.
I don't know what everybody's thinking, but if you think that, I love how everybody thought Florida State was going to be good and Florida was going to be bad. Good Lord, terrible football.
Yep. I listen to Coach.
I think some of the local teams look better. So.
Man. But what's the problem? We're trying to figure out what's going on at FSU. What do you think it is?
The FSU trying to buy players to fill in voids when they can't get players to come sign with them, number one. You got to have a culture of players that you develop to have backups. You can't just keep buying players. At the end of the day, you have to talk about Georgia going to buy players. We had 3 players come into our program, and all 3 players played except for Etienne because he got a DUI. But he's the leader of our running back room. And then if you take what Florida State's done, Florida State's got issues with strength, and they don't look tough. They don't look like a tough football team. And then Florida, on the other hand, is the same thing. You look at the Gators. Good Lord, the Gators look so weak. Miami outmanned them, like just man to man. There's no. If you're a Gator fan this morning, you're feeling worse now than you did before they even hired Billy Davis. And the problem is,
I agree.
He's got a good group of freshmen, but you can't play all those freshmen and then expect to win. And the problem is they're not going to give them enough time. Both of those coaches are on the hot seat now. I think Norvell's seat got hotter than Napier's seat yesterday.
Amazing. I agree with that.
You can't talk all that crap and this, that, and the other, that we're this, that, and the other, then go out there and lay an egg on your home turf 2 games into the season.
We got to take a break. Can you hold on a minute?
I will hold on a minute.
All right, hold on a minute. We'll get back with you. Jim, anything else you want to get in before we
No, that's good.
All right, FSU again is brought to you by Newbies. Get out, Newbies, have a great time.
I will say this about Norvell just real quick. Take away the 13-1 season. He's 18-18 at Florida State. So, like you said, your record is who you are.
But this talk about everybody going, I've heard this since everybody's like, oh, they should have not made the play. Come on, man. That happened last year.
Yes,
this is
last
totally
year.
different. Two different teams. They got screwed last year. The bottom line is you can't turn that on. That's wrong.
No.
I think that's wrong. All right, so with some of our great sponsors. Appreciate every single one of you wonderful people. We had a blast. We had a get-together family, kind of like a little family reunion, and we had a great time. You know what we did? We went to Rudy's. We bought a lot of barbecue, sausage, and turkey. We had a blast. Thank you, Rudy's Barbecue, for the outstanding food that we got there. Their catering is going through the roof. If you want something catered, there's only one place to go. That is Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. They got a huge room in the back. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Also, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Jason Kovaleski can make it happen for you. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Julie and I had lunch there Friday, had a great time. Wildcat did not show up, saved me some money. Thank you, Wildcat.
No problem.
The food was outstanding. Pat was not there, but I tell you what, we had a great time. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Don't forget every Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Cannot beat that. Taco Bell. I want to thank Taco Bell for the Rutherford update. And I didn't say that earlier. All you Rams, get out to Taco Bell and out there and have a wonderful time. They support you guys. And they also support Port St. Joe. They got 3 on Panama City Beach. They got 1 in Callaway. And they got the brand new in DoorDash down in Port St. Joe. Thank you, Taco Bell, for all your great support. Turpro Pest Control. Patrick does such a wonderful job. You'll listen to him every Monday, 8:30 right here. You want that yard to look beautiful? Call Patrick. Call Turpro Pest Control. Your yard will look absolutely gorgeous. And if I want jewelry, where am I going?
You're going to be smart, and you're going to go right over to Lynn Haven where there's no traffic. It's the only jewelry store, fine jewelry store in Lynn Haven. David Adamson's Fine Jewelry. Design it, get it appraised, get it repaired, or you can even sell it. David Adamson Fine Jewelry.
And you're listening to the official station of Atlanta Braves baseball. We got news on that later on. We're going to give away some more tickets. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's George's world. We just live in it. Go Kirby Smart. Be right back.
Only 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida could bring sports fans like you an app this powerful. The sports content you crave is always on. Live stream us everywhere you go. Now with upgraded programming and live game schedules, you'll always know when the Atlanta Braves and your favorite games are playing. Plus, interact with our local hosts in real time and so much more. The new app for the sports fanatic is available at the Apple Store and Google Play. From 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and some clouds and a high of 92 with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 11 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and a high around 86. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus. Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I had about 4 big-time disappointments. I don't know what you guys' disappointments were. Mine was the Florida Gators. I listened to Steve Spurrier. I had Miami picked, and I listened to the old ball coach. Florida's big-time disappointment. FSU was a big disappointment. Clemson, I thought that would be a close physical football game. I didn't think Georgia would cover. Georgia spanked them. And then LSU, Kelly's third-year elite. Couldn't get it done at the end of the game. And I get kind of tired of him blaming everybody else about what happens. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
It kind of threw me
What
under.
did he say? I missed that
He
one.
beat his hand on the table and just said, we're doing the same things over and over. Well, that's what you correct in practice.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're the guy running the show, not them.
And we had questions about Ryan Day because the way they play defense.
Look at the
Alabama,
lack of discipline, though. Go back to LSU, the lack of discipline.
No, that's what my point was.
You act like you're shooting somebody on the sideline, cost you 15 yards. They're hitting late. They made stupid mistakes.
That's LSU.
And I lost that dang bet. Dang it. That's what I'm pissed about. Let's bring our caller back on.
Yeah,
What is your big disappointments of the week? Name us 3 or 4.
The disappointment for me is the showing. I was impressed with both the teams that played with USC and LSU. The both defenses looked a lot better.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
they did.
But if you take overall and say I'm a Georgia dog all the way through and through. So I've been hearing this crap about Florida's schedule, tough schedule, number 1 schedule in the land. Okay, so now look, they done got their butts kicked by Miami at home opening weekend. Nothing more embarrassing than that. That is totally embarrassing. FSU, I knew they sucked. They were going to suck because they didn't. When you don't show up to play your bowl game, you got a culture problem. That means your kids don't care. All they care about is themselves. That is not a disappointment. I think LSU losing that game at the end, not representing the SEC, was number 2.
Absolutely.
And then you got all kinds of teams that should be doing better. I mean, there's a lot of no-name games. So all I've heard is, Clemson ain't no good. Georgia's just not that good. Clemson just sucks. Let me tell you something. If you look at Georgia's schedule, and I don't know where in the world these people are thinking. You go down that list, and you see all those opponents we're playing and where we're playing them.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me for a fact that we don't have the toughest schedule in the nation.
At Alabama, at Ole Miss, at Texas.
At Texas.
Yeah.
At Kentucky, and Tennessee, and Auburn. We have got a doggone schedule like nobody had. And if we run that schedule, everybody better look out because it ain't going to happen just once. It's going to happen twice.
Here's your latest computer rankings, ESPN computer, whatever they call it. Georgia number 1, Alabama's 2, Texas is 3, Ohio State's 4, Penn State. I was impressed with Penn State. 5, Notre Dame. I was really impressed with Notre Dame. 7, Tennessee.
Yes.
8,
Notre
Ole
Dame
Miss. 9, Oklahoma. 10, Oregon. And Miami, 11, Missouri, 12. Hey, LSU, 14.
Missouri's legit.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Georgia got the toughest schedule in college football as of today, if you look at this schedule.
Let me tell you something. People keep sleeping on the Missouri Tigers, and they played us to tooth and nail last year in Athens.
And they got an easy schedule.
Thank God they're not on our schedule this year because let me tell you something. Missouri's going to break some people's hearts. They're going to be a good ball club.
They got a chance to be undefeated when they go into Tuscaloosa. I think I'm going to go there. That might be the only game I go to.
I mean, they don't think I think Ohio State's they've got it this year. We'll find out what Michigan's made out with Texas, and then those are the only 2 teams in the Big Ten. USC pulled one out of their butt. You know, they just kept playing, and you know what? If you keep playing, that shows you got grit. So I got to give USC credit for that win.
Yeah,
they should not have won that ball game.
Jason,
but
we're
they
talking
did
about
because
that.
They kept playing.
I was really impressed with Notre Dame. I was really impressed with USC. I mean, they got some skilled players. They played hard. They played good on both sides of the ball. I like them. But Notre Dame's the one I really was impressed with. They played
Notre Dame's
good,
defense looked really good.
Notre Dame, Penn State's what impressed me because we always every year they're always overrated. They're always in the top 10, and they're really kind of paper, top 10 teams. This year, if you watch that West Virginia game, everybody on ESPN picked West Virginia to upset them. They went in and physically dominated that game on the offensive and defensive lines, and their quarterback. They opened it up a little bit, let them through downfield. But Notre Dame's secondary, if there's a better one out there, I haven't seen it yet. I mean, they played lights out against A&M.
In that environment.
Made Wegman look terrible in that game, and they ran the ball really well, so on the road.
Another disappointment to me was Oregon. At home, they barely beat Idaho 24-14. And, man, all this talk about how great – that's just one game. They might be the best team ever played. But what's the chemistry of that team? You got all the best players money can buy. I don't know.
But what we talk about every week, offense, defensive lines. I know people keep hearing about that. They ran for 2.2 yards per carry. They threw the ball 49 times and scored, 24 points, I believe?
Yeah.
So
against Idaho.
And you want to go into Michigan, into Ohio State, into Penn State, you better be able to run the ball. Yeah.
Good luck. Exactly. There's going to be a lot of hurt feelings this year, and it come down to it, it's going to be the same cream of the crop that's going to rise to the top.
It's going to be Ohio State, in Georgia, in Atlanta for the national championship. I'm talking about the game. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Ohio State and Georgia playing.
I'm so tired of people that said Alabama ain't doing this. I'm like, everybody I know, they're Alabama ain't going to do nothing safe in there. I'm like, dude, y'all keep sleeping on that giant
right,
and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then their receiver, it looked just like Tua throwing deep balls to that dude. He just running underneath him, man. And Milroe's got a cannon.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, if he learned to just sit in that pocket, he'd be the number one draft pick in all the nation. Just stay in the pocket and throw that football, boy, because you can hurl it. And you can run, too, but just save those legs because you're going to need them at the next level.
What'd you think? I'm not hearing you giving much love to Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, Ole Miss they got to finish. Their season is, the thing with Ole Miss is they don't have much competition all the way to the end.
Right.
If you're battle tested through the season, it's going to help you in that 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
So if Georgia, let's just say Georgia finishes, let's say 11-2, we lose 2 games, we're still in because the teams we played are going to be at a higher caliber than these weak, cupcake Campbell soup teams that these people are playing.
If you trust the committee,
can't take that.
If you trust the committee, I don't trust them.
I don't. Well, who do you trust nowadays anyway? So it doesn't really matter at that point. So if you did that, guess what? We would have been playing in the national championship game last year, not FSU.
But I'm starting to really hate these automatic bids from the conference championship because they're not equal. I mean, you take the ACC, Big 12, they're nowhere near the caliber.
Get a bye. They get one less game to play.
What if Georgia goes 10-2, loses SEC or 11-1, lose the SEC championship game to say maybe like Auburn or somebody.
9-3.
So they got 11-2, and then you put Utah in as a top 4 seed, and then Georgia's got to go on the road and play a first round game. To me,
and go in there and stomp them.
Yeah, they will.
We go in there
absolutely.
And stomp them.
Yeah.
Or you have Ohio State goes on the road, beats Oregon, and they got to play them again at the end of the year, and they get beat by a field goal or something. That's what I'm saying. It should be the 12 best teams.
Yeah, look at the teams that sent a message this weekend. Everybody's first game is always a problem. Nick Saban said it best on game day. Your first week is full of anxiety, and you don't know what you got. You don't know how you can perform. So you take Georgia going to Clemson supposedly was legit. And now they might come back and beat a bunch of teams. They might end up only having one loss. You never know. But if you take what we did to them week 1 and you say, okay, and we're not even at full potential yet, and you take the teams that have played other teams that are solid teams, like Notre Dame and Texas A&M had no answer for their defense.
Yeah.
Now, A&M might go into other teams and just beat the brakes off them and show you that Notre Dame's actually that good on defense.
You go look at Notre Dame's schedule. You go look at Miami's schedule. They got a chance to go undefeated.
They're in, I think.
Yeah, they both could go 12-0.
Those were their toughest kind of tests. I mean, Miami still got, Florida State. They still got Clemson, I believe, at least in the ACC championship game.
Miami's back.
Yeah, they are. We've been talking about that for a couple of weeks. Just offensive, defensive line recruiting over the last 3 years has been on par with, the upper echelon teams. With Georgia, they've stolen recruits from Ohio State on the defensive line.
They needed a quarterback.
They got one.
They
did.
Well, listen, Bulldog, we got to take a break, man.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, y'all be good. I'm going to tell you one more thing for them Gators, okay? So the problem with when Mertz was having issues all the way in the second quarter, that's when coaching comes into play. You say, okay, boy, you're going on the bench. I'm bringing in somebody that's got a little pizzazz to lift up my team. Whether I'm going to lose already, I'm going to lose.
Right.
But I'm going to lose in style. I'm not going to get my butt kicked while all of my boosters are there in front of a home crowd in Miami. Get beat down. Get beat down. That's an embarrassment.
But, hey, real quick, we got about 30 seconds, but let me ask you this. Is Florida willing to spend the money to win again? Are they willing to go out? And if they are, it's going to be Lane Kiffin. He will be the next. He will be the next coach at Florida if they're going to spend the money to get him and get what he wants.
They better spend the money unless they want to spend the rest of their life in the cellar like they've been in it about 5-6 years. So
that makes that East Conference or that East. Well, I guess they don't have size no more.
No size anymore.
They make the SEC a little bigger.
Go Dogs, baby! Go! Hey, tell Kirby I said hey.
3 for 4 and 24, baby. Go Dogs!
Unbelievable. Roll Tide. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. South Oak Title Closing. Chuck Tucker does an incredible job. Love that man down there. All your real estate closing, do what the big-time elites do. The Mark Carroll's, the Beth Movies, they all go South Oak Title Closing. So should you. J. Michael's Restaurant. We're one day away from that world-famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. It's incredible. Also, Stevenson Air. I'll talk more about them in just a second. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Happy hour, the best in town. Great place to have a birthday party. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. If you get injured in any way, you call Chad Mitchell. Do what the athletes in Bay County do. We all go to Chad Mitchell. The guy's a legendary doctor here in Northwest Florida. You can listen to him Monday mornings right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. They are incredible. They cater. They're great. We used them. They're outstanding. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. And the Cajun Place, yeah, we're back with the Cajun Place. We will be there Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, watching college football. Brian was down there. He was having a great time. We all were having a great time. It was completely packed out all day and all night. The best food you'll get anywhere. That Cajun Place right there on Thomas Drive. Thomas Drive's got a lot of great restaurants down there.
Yeah, they do.
And you're listening to the home of Mosley football right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I said I love it, Coach.
Hey,
Y'all are
record
the best.
that. Record that. Yeah. I don't like talking about ourselves, but go ahead and say it one more time.
All right, Coach. We love your show. To be local, and you got a big fan right here.
All right, babe.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and some clouds and a high of 92 with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 11 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and a high around 86. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Burr Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Burr Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
WVLQ Point St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're there for you every single second of the day. Late night, early morning, Stevenson Air Conditioning is there for you. If it breaks, it tears down, and you're burning up or you're freezing, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. He's like Superman. They'll be out there. They'll solve all problems, and you'll be satisfied. They do a great job. Great, wonderful people. Family-owned, taking care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. That is Jason. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Alabama Crimson Tide, they start a new era. Nick Saban is gone, but he was up in the press box. He came in the press box to say hello to everybody, and he hugged Jamie. Jamie goes, Dad, he was just like totally different. He was happy, cutting up, laughing. You can tell he has no stress on him. He's enjoying life. It was really good to see that.
You ain't got to worry about the portal and NIL anymore.
She took some pictures of him at the press box with people and stuff like that. He was cutting them, having a great time with those guys.
He looked good on ESPN Game Day.
Then he goes on, insisting that they got a box for him and his family. They used to sit up there. They're having a great time. A couple players up there with them. It was good to see all that. I enjoyed things like that. And you're right. I thought he did a great job on game, but you tell he's really having a good time doing it.
Relaxed, just happy.
Yeah.
So
the rumors him going to Florida are false. That will not be happening. I don't think Urban's coming back either.
No,
I don't think.
I think the game's passed him by.
Well, I kept telling everybody, hey, college football's changed. It's going to be more like NFL. Scores are going to be lower.
Right.
Yeah, right. I said Bama would not cover the 34.5 points. They did. Alabama did cover 63-0 over Western Kentucky. Alabama had, can I get one more? Alabama had 600 total yards of offense. Saturday looked really good. I was really impressed with the defense. I really was. They were quick. Lateral movement was outstanding. The defensive front's pretty good. The freshmen, we had 3 freshman 5-stars that actually got in the game. They started a couple freshmen on defense. The scheme is a lot more simpler. They had a lot more zone and broke up on the ball. Did a really good job. I was really pleased with it. Of course, they were playing Western Kentucky. Their quarterback ran his mouth somewhat. He said, Alabama's going to realize this isn't certain teams they played in the past. This is not the old Western Kentucky. And he got it picked off about, I think, 3 or 4 times during the game, it seemed like, anyway. But one negatives, Alabama's any negatives, they had way too many penalties. They did. They had a lot of penalties. They lost their starting freshman All-American left offensive tackle in warm-ups. He got his shoulder hurt in warm-ups. He was on the street clothes in a sling. They say it's day for day. They didn't give much on it. They're going to have to by Wednesday. They'll give it a report Wednesday what's going on with him. When they take you out of your uniform and they put you in street clothes, that's not a good sign. I don't know how long we're going to miss him. Hopefully we'll get him back for the Georgia game, Wisconsin game. We'll see. That's a big loss. Alabama's defense, again, big, fast, strong, impressed with those. Kicking game. Their kicking game, the kid we stole from Ohio, that guy can kick. I mean,
he won the Groza Award last year.
I saw him catch.
That's why he won the award, dear genius.
Love that baby. Keep on kicking, man. He looked good. Our punter's outstanding, high, long, deep. Really, I was impressed with special teams. That was one concern I had coming into the season. Let's grade them. They did grade them. Alabama's offense got an A-. Never had a really consistent drive. The offensive line still question mark for me. It was either 3 in score or it was either 3 in punt.
Right.
And it was. It was like
plays.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of plays on offense. We'll see how this plays out as the season goes on. Competition this week. South Florida, I think, is better than Western Kentucky. They almost beat us last year. We'll know a little bit more. 2 weeks, we'll know more about Bama when they go on the road to play Wisconsin. Defense, give them an A+. When you shut them out, you should get a high grade.
Right.
Defense is extremely fast. That I talked about that earlier. I really like what I saw there. Did a lot of rotating. They played a lot of different ball players, especially in the front 7. They looked pretty good. They had a lot of. They've had great recruiting classes, and they play these young guys, and we don't know their names yet.
Right.
The guys can play. They look good. They look like the old Alabama football team. Special teams, they got A+, defense A+, offense A-. Coaching, they gave Alabama coaching staff an A-. 63-0, not a lot to complain about. Alabama passing attack. Melrose, as a team, they were 12 of 18, only 266 yards. Every time they completed the pass, they averaged 14.8, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I guess that was Milroe. Western Kentucky, as a team, threw the ball 40 times.
Wow.
They completed 22 for 103 yards. They averaged 2.6 yards per play. They had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Melrose was 7 of 9, 200 yards, 22 yard completions, 3 TDs. Simpson was 5 of 9, 66 yards, 73 completions, 7.3 yards every time they caught a ball, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Team passing, Alabama. I don't know. Is that team passing? Give me a second. Oh, total offense. I think it's total offense. 47 plays, 344. That ain't right. Rushing offense. Alabama ran the ball 47 times for 334 yards, 7.1 yard per carry, 6 rushing touchdowns. Hayes, which I think is a great football player, 4 carries, 102 yards, average 25 yards, 25.5 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Melrose ran the ball. He is so fast, it's incredible. He ran the ball 10 times for 79 yards, 7.9 yard average, 2 touchdowns. Miller, 5 carries, 54 yards, average 10.8, 1 touchdown. Western Kentucky, this is what I like. Western Kentucky ran the ball 27 times for 42 yards, 1.6 yards per carry.
It's good.
I like our defense playing well. And one thing that did impress me, Jason, about Alabama's defense, I heard the defense coordinator, they interview him. They let now the interview the defense coordinator, offensive coordinator, and coaches. They didn't do that with Saban. And he talked about this is one of the hardest hitting teams that he's coached. They did hit you. They looked good. They were very physical. That was impressive to see that. It's just one game. But it looked good in one game.
That's what we wanted to see from DeBoer. If they extended that culture out, if they're going to have that, edge, and they played with fire and they were physical. So
Alabama receivers, 12 receptions, 266 yards. They averaged 22.3, 3 touchdowns. Western Kentucky, 22 receptions, 103 yards. They averaged 4.7 receptions, 0 touchdown. The big receivers for Bama, Ryan Williams, a 5-star, a 17-year-old freshman. 2 receptions, 139 yards, average 69.5 yards per carry. They did a go route with him, and he was behind the guy by 5 yards. The guy's a speedster. I think they clocked him at 20-something miles an hour in practice or whatever. Really good football players. He's up there with the elite ones from Auburn.
He was
Ohio
a huge
State.
recruit.
Did you say a 17-year-old?
17-year-old kid.
Wow.
Yeah, not
if he
18, not 19, 17-year-old freshman. Wow. He can play. Odom, 2 for 23. Loft, 1 for 22. Alabama, 63. Western Kentucky, 0. Total offense, Bama, 600. Western Kentucky, 145 yards. Turnovers, Bama, 1. Western Kentucky, 2. First downs, Alabama, 25. Western Kentucky, 10. Time of possession, Bama, 30 minutes, 35 seconds. Western Kentucky, 29-25. 100,077 were there. Good win for Bama. Good win for coach's first showing. People were happy. Everything was good. Different personality than Nick. He's really nice with the media. He smiles. He's positive, upbeat. The kids love him. He's fun. He won a game.
Yeah.
Warning.
Yeah.
He won the game.
Right.
When you lose, Alabama, I'm just telling him, you're going to see a different group of Alabama people. Just be prepared. But that was good. He's off to a great start. Good job for Alabama. They look good. And you got to consider the competition. And again, it's just one football game. Again, this week, Alabama will play South Florida, kickoff at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a big deal for Nick Saban. He will be there. He'll be at game day. I think they're in Michigan. They'll fly him back. He was back in Tuscaloosa at 1:30. Right. I guess they got the jet that he uses. They're going to name the field out. It'll be officially named after him at this game, the ceremony. So this is going to be a big deal up there in Tuscaloosa for that. And South Florida, I think will be a competition for Alabama. They're pretty good. They gave us a game last year. The coaches made some comments this summer about looking forward to playing Bama and whatever. So I think this will be a more competitive game. But if they play like that, they're going to be in pretty good shape. The offense line's got to continue to get better if we're going to have a chance against Georgia or Wisconsin. All right, Alabama Update's been brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. When we get back, we're going to talk about the Auburn Tigers. They look really good also playing Alabama A&M. Let's talk now about more of our wonderful people. I want to thank Stevenson Air Conditioning for the Alabama Update. Thank you guys so much. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard look absolutely beautiful? Patrick. Call Patrick. He'll get it done for you.
I'm going to call Patrick about those love bugs. My whole weekend was ruined by a bug orgy in my backyard. Those love bugs were everywhere.
I saw you filming something. I didn't know what that was. Yeah. Anyway, Turf Pro Pest Control
Gotta
number
call
one.
Pat.
Not even close. And again, Russ does such a good job down there with the jewelry. They give you deals. They work with you. Wonderful people. And that is David Adams, Designer Jewelry. They do a great job down there. Once you're down there, head on over to Beef Braised, have a great lunch there, and get out to Taco Bell. Support them. They support all these high school teams throughout Panhandle, Florida, Port St. Joe, Rutherford. Taco Bell's number one. Make sure you get to one of their 3 locations on Panama City Beach, Callaway, and down in Port St. Joe. Also, Paparazzi, you love pizza. It is Paparazzi Pizza. Go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. ESPN 104.3, the home of the Auburn Tigers. We'll be right back with those War Eagles.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back.
Wide open down the sideline.
ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphin.
And Kyle Wright.
You take the top off the defense, and the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and some clouds and a high of 92 with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 11 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and a high around 86. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take control of your adventure and discover the new Kia at Bill Burr Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Burr Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. The road is yours in an all-new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per 1,548 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 9/3/24.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Auburn update. Get out to Beef Braised. Have a great meal. I tell you what, they got the 10 for 10 going on every single day. They walk in, they treat you like family. Pat does such a wonderful job. He's probably the best city commissioner that Lynn Haven's ever had. I know he runs a restaurant better than just about anybody out there. Beef Braised in Lynn Haven. Go check it out. Again, they treat you like family. The food's incredible. TV's everywhere. You know, we got in there about 11:20, something like that. And there was like one table left. I mean, they do a wonderful job. The food's really good. Get out to Beef Braised in Lynn Haven. We're talking about the one in Lynn Haven. Auburn update. Everybody was pumped up to go see the new talent that Auburn's put together. They've done a great job. He's recruiting at a high level. They brought in some good transfers. He's getting it right, where you see some of these other schools are not getting the chemistry together, not the right combination. I think Hugh Freeze is doing a pretty good job. Of course, he was a pretty good expert for it before. But let's take a phone call for Travis to interrupt the Auburn update. Let's bring him on. Travis, what are you doing, brother?
Hey, I got one more thing to add. And I'm sure it was already added because I tuned in and heard your Georgia boy. And, or Georgia man. I can't say boy. They're doing pretty good. I'm kind of scared of them. I'm scared of them this year if being not truthful.
Yeah.
But I don't know what was worse on this Saturday's loss for Florida. I don't know if it was the fact that we lost or the fact that our coach can't even open a water bottle.
He can't what?
He couldn't open a water bottle.
What happened?
You didn't see that? Okay, so in the post-game press conference, he's sitting there talking to the media, and he picks up, Aquafina water bottle like he usually does, and he just sits there and struggles to open it the whole time, and he just finally ends up setting it down. There's some rumor saying that he might have somebody might have super glued it.
It's probably the gator.
He's sitting there and he really is trying.
It was the mascot. He got it back.
Oh Lord!
You gotta look it up and watch it, because he sat there and at first he tries to open it like a regular bottle and it won't open, and he cranks down on that thing without trying to show that he's really trying. And it was on the game last night. That it was one of their, I don't remember what kind of bid it was, but it was right after the whole flopping thing.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this: have you heard anything else about him and the mascot having words in the locker? Not the
I
locker.
haven't heard anything else.
Yeah, I think that somebody just posted. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. All right, Travis. Thank you for interrupting the Auburn update. I love you. Only you.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. You have a great day. War Eagle.
Call 15 minutes earlier.
Auburn 73, Alabama A&M 3. That's great Auburn's football team. Offense, they gave them an A+. 70 points, you guys get an A+. Offense was explosive, no doubt about that. 66 points was by the offense. They were set up, I guess, for the other ones. Peyton Thorne looked pretty good. He had time to throw the ball, sat in the pocket. He delivered to the playmakers. Good job by him. I had question marks about him. It shows, again, it is Alabama A&M. They threw for 322 yards, 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, 49 yards rushing, and another touchdown. So he really did have a pretty good day. Auburn rushed for 177 yards, 9.8 yards per carry. 73 points, 628 total yards of offense. War Eagle, good job. I don't care who you're playing. That's a good job. Auburn hadn't done this the last 2 or 3 years.
You got to build some momentum on these teams and get in a rhythm, and they did that.
You build some confidence, man. Good job. Defense. Now, come on. I think they were kind of hard on him. They gave him a B+. And Hugh Freeze made a couple of comments about defense. I don't think he was too pleased.
I think they gave up some chunk yards in the run game, a little bit.
Out of place a couple times, things like that. He made a comment. We made some defensive mistakes. Okay, so he wasn't too happy about some things. Wasn't too thrilled about. He just said that the performance on defense was just okay. If you only give up 3 points, you're doing better than okay, in my opinion, regardless whoever you're playing. Alabama A&M was able to move the ball at times. That's what he was concerned about. Not a lot of 3-and-outs that he wanted, but Auburn did hold them to 38 yards rushing the ball. So I think you're in pretty good shape when you host any team at 38 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Special teams, they got a great kicker over there. They were pleased with that. Auburn did a great job. Auburn blocked a punt. They did a good job in every part of the kicking game. Field goal kicker did a good job. Coverage was really good. You got good skilled players. You can do those kind of things. Coaching, they gave an A-. No bad calls. Overall, the performance, Auburn, A. Auburn, there were 88,043 fans there. It was loud like it always is. Again, total offense, Auburn, 828 yards on 46 plays. Pretty good. Alabama A&M, 240 yards on 70 plays. That's what he was talking about, Jason. He wanted to get them off the field, get on and off the field, and they didn't do that. So I get where he's coming from.
I was kidding about the rush. They rushed 36 times for 38 yards.
Yeah, come on, man. And really, so what? Time possession you might not get, but you got the points.
Right.
Auburn averaged 13.7 yards a play. A&M averaged 3.4 yards per play. Auburn fumbles twice. Alabama A&M 0. Penalties. Auburn had 5 for 60 yards. A&M had 7 for 60 yards. Passing, Auburn 451 yards passing, 18 of 28, 0 interceptions. Alabama A&M 204 yards passing. They hit 16 of 34. Auburn averaged 25.1 yards, and A&M 12 points on the passing receptions. touchdowns. Auburn had 6. A&M zip. Thorne again was 13-21, 322 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brown 3 of 5, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The backup. As a team, 18 of 28, 451 yards. A&M again as a team, 16 of 34, 204 yards. Rushing the ball, Hunter, which I think is one of the best running backs in the country, 4 carries, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. They got him out of the game quite a bit. 13.3 yards per carry. That's pretty good. Thorne, again, 4 carries, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. He averaged 12.3 yards per carry. Cobb ran the ball 3 times with 26 yards, averaged 8 points per carry. A&M, I ain't going to talk about him. Anyway, good performance by Auburn. I think everybody was happy. Everybody wanted to see the new receivers. They were impressed. Everything's looking really good right now for the Auburn Tigers. Who does Auburn have this week? Well, I'll tell you what, you turn in at 8:15 on Thursday. Andy Burcham's going to tell you all you need to know about the Auburn Tigers. Again, Cal comes in from the – what's Cal now? They're independent.
ACC.
That's right, ACC.
Yeah.
So the ACC comes into Auburn. I think both teams are guaranteed $450,000. When Auburn went out there and played them at Cal, they got $450,000. Auburn was going to pay them $450,000 to come to Auburn to help pay for their expenses and things of that nature. This could be a more competitive game when they play Cal.
Possibly. I don't know how good Cal is, though. I mean, if they get this offense rolling and get in a rhythm, I just don't see this being a game at all. I think they, handle Cal, handle New Mexico, handle Arkansas, and then they got Oklahoma at Georgia, at Missouri, which is really going to tell whether they can make a little bit of a run at maybe getting in the playoff or not. The way they look Saturday, I mean, if that offense keeps rolling, they have a chance. But they don't have the toughest schedule in the world. They do have a stiff schedule in the middle, but, after that, they get at Kentucky, Vandy, Louisiana, Monroe, A&M, and then finish with Alabama.
We kept talking about early during the summer that the key game is Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They can beat Oklahoma. They're going to have the kind of year that Auburn fans want them to have. All right, this week in SEC football and some of the big games around the country, South Florida's at Alabama. Arkansas's at Oklahoma State. I think that's 11 o'clock kickoff. And then you got Cal at Auburn. That kickoff time, I can't remember, 2:30, I believe. Then you have Tennessee Tech at Georgia. Whew, look out, Tennessee Tech. South Carolina at Kentucky. Then you got Nicholls at LSU. Middle Tennessee State at Ole Miss. Ole Miss has got a nice schedule. Mississippi State at Arizona State. Buffalo at Missouri. Missouri's other team has got a really weak schedule this year in the SEC. Houston at Oklahoma. Appalachian State at Clemson. Tennessee at NC State. That'll be a big game. I think it's a night game.
NC State's got some receivers and some good offense. Their defense didn't impress me, but, week 1 to week 2, that's when you're going to make your biggest improvement.
I'll be honest, I was disappointed in NC State week 1. I thought
I did too.
Better. I really did. Florida A&M's at Miami. Texas, the big one in the nation. Texas at Michigan. That's a huge football game. And then a noon kickoff, 11 o'clock kickoff Central Time. That's a big game to watch.
Yeah, the
McNeese
Texas
State at Texas A&M. Acorn at Vandy. What about Vandy, man? Vandy beating Virginia Tech. We kept hearing Virginia Tech's going to be pretty good this year.
Virginia Tech had 22 starters. It doesn't look like they were very good this year either.
Yeah.
Returning, I should say.
Okay, you got Akron at Vandy. Western Michigan at Ohio State. Texas at Michigan. Boise State at Oregon. Keep an eye on that one. Boise State at Oregon. I think Oregon will play a lot better this week. Bowling Green at Penn State. I thought Penn State looked good. I thought they looked physical. I thought they looked fast. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I think they make the playoffs this year. I don't think he'll screw that up. I don't think even he can screw that up. All right, we get back. We got to pick who we think are the best 12 teams right now. The AP poll, I don't know if it's out yet or not, probably tomorrow or later today. But
putting our committee hats on.
Who do we really think are the 12 best teams? Who was impressive this past weekend? Auburn update. Get out to Beef Over Braves. Have a wonderful time. They do a great job. Pat, love you. Wonderful man. Great city commissioner. Unbelievable restaurant at Beef Over Braves in Lynn Haven. Speaking of restaurant, that Cajun place, we will be there again at 11 o'clock watching all these different football games, having the best wings you can get anywhere. That gumbo down there, that chicken sausage gumbo down there is incredible. Try the bread pudding. My sister-in-law fell in love with that stuff. It was great. And Judy and Jan, I think, are going to come in at 8:30 on Thursday. I hope they do anyway. Rudy's Barbecue, Back Beach Road. You go have a great meal there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they cater. Their catering is incredible. Make sure you have a big get-together. Don't forget them. We're talking about sausage, barbecue, turkey. They got it all right there at Rudy's Barbecue. Newbies, 4 great locations, not 3. Love John, love Charlotte. They do a wonderful job. Newbies, 2 on the Cove to go watch sporting events. If you're in St. Andrews, go check out the new Newbies. Have a great time down there. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 have developed skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better, get bigger, get stronger, lose weight, gain gain muscle mass? Jason Koleski can get it done. Jason, talk about it. What can we do? Where do we go? Talk about your business.
Yeah, we got 2 great locations, one on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village next to Black Sheep Army Tzatziki's, and we have our Pier Park location. We got our high school stack, which is our complete mass, K4 creatine, and our Sport Formula multivitamin that we're still doing for 15% off. So it's $99.99. It's just going to put some extra size, maintain that muscle during the season. And we also have our hydration sticks. I know, it's still a little humid, it gets hot, and still early in the year. So if you're suffering from cramping or, just want to stay hydrated, come down and grab these sticks. You can put it in any water, any juice, and just stay hydrated throughout the game.
All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What are your best 12 teams? We'll find out when we get back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
And picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
As a realtor, it's important who you choose as your title company. May we suggest South Oak Title? Their offices are modern, comfortable, and state-of-the-art. South Oak Title can close transactions in any location in Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Their free mobile app allows realtors to deliver a net sheet in seconds. They provide mobile closing services to accommodate buyers and sellers. Their offices are beautifully decorated, state-of-the-art, complete, safe, and secure. South Oak Title, creating a better title and closing experience through technology and tailored service. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your official station for the Lampreys baseball. We're going to be giving away some tickets soon. We'll have more information on
More
that.
family packs are coming. That's
Yes,
4 tickets to
to
Atlanta
that.
Braves baseball.
I'd love to go watch a baseball game in Atlanta. All right, let's talk about it. I'm going to go mine first. This just kind of, I threw some names out there. Not really in order, but I'll give it to you who I thought looked pretty good this past week. If I had to put 12 teams in it, this is probably who I would select. I had Georgia number 1 after their great performance against Clemson. Ohio State number 2. Number 3, I had the Texas Longhorns. Number 4, I bumped Bama up to number 4. Notre Dame 5. I was really impressed with Notre Dame coaching staff, the whole works. To go in that environment to play like that, I was impressed. Ole Miss number 6. 7, Penn State. I might have even put them ahead of Ole Miss. Penn State played a big rival game and did great. They look good. Oregon was not impressed. I had them at 8 because I hear how much talent they have. They should probably be back at 12, but I got them at 8. 9, Missouri. They look good. Didn't play anybody, but they look good. Miami, what they did to Florida. And then 11, I had Michigan or either Oklahoma. I'll go Michigan, even though that pick 6 saved their butts. Tennessee, I had 12th, and Oklahoma looking in. Who are you 12, Jim Bob? Who you like?
Well, look, obviously I didn't see all those teams play, but the teams that I saw, the best teams that I watched was Georgia and Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame, and I don't know what show I was watching, pregame show. They're talking about, I think it was what Nick Saban was saying. He goes, you can't go down to Kyle Field and win. I mean, we were so confused. Bryce Young was just like so lost there. They were so confused. But Notre Dame didn't have any problem.
Right.
And I'm not making fun of Nick Saban.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever Notre Dame did, they played really well. Now, is Texas A&M a great team? Not really. They're average, but in that environment is A+. I mean, it's 107,000 people shaking them pom-poms the whole game and everything.
And you got to give Notre Dame's defense credit for why they looked that bad, because, Weigman was a 5-star quarterback. Everybody was high on him. They had wide receivers. They'd lost their running back, too, so that could have hurt them. But they got some studs on the defensive line. I mean, that's not a bad
that was a good game. That was a very competitive game. And Georgia just dog-walked, no pun intended, Clemson. Yeah. I just don't get Dabo Swinney. I just don't get him. Dabo, you had all the success. You got your team to where everybody talks about it. Everybody knows them. Everybody recognizes them. You got everything going. And then the rules kind of changed a little bit. And you kind of like, well, I'm taking my football and I'm going home and I'm not playing. Hey, Dabo, that's fine. You play the hard line, play the get off my lawn guy, be that guy, go ahead. But while you're being stubborn and while you're being whatever you are, you're getting passed by.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the only time that happens. Klubnik, I'm sorry, no, he can't play. I'm sorry, I've been trying to give him credit for 3 years. Kind of like DJ, it hasn't happened yet. Clemson's got big-time issues on offense.
Outside of running back, I mean, what skill position players on offense would you want? I mean, even a wide receiver. I mean, this has been 2-3 year problems, and this is where you can address some issues through the portal that they refuse to go after, and I just don't get it. I mean,
I don't get it either.
If you're not going to embrace today's college football, you should move on and let somebody come in that's going to actually embrace it, because you're going to be a second-rate team here.
Go coach high school football or something.
I was actually impressed with their defensive line and defense in the first half. They gave Georgia a lot of problems.
It was a good game for a while.
They played hard, but
they play hard and all that good stuff. But man,
just waves and waves of talent. I'll go over my top 12, and I watched most of these games this weekend. I have Georgia number 1, and they clearly were the best team on Saturday, in my opinion, based on their opponent and how they performed, especially in that second half. Beck looked great. I had Ohio State number 2. I mean, they have as much talent on offense and defense. They didn't look great in the first half, but, a lot of jitters, a lot of pressure up there. Right. But I give what I did like is I saw Will Howard is an elite or very, very good quarterback.
He's light years better than Kyle McCord.
So that gives me a lot of confidence. They got talent everywhere on defense, running backs, wide receivers. That freshman wide receiver is a stud. I put Texas number 3. I talked a lot of crap about them in the offseason, saying they weren't going to do this or that, but they came out and whooped Colorado State.
A good program.
That's not an FCS team. That's a legit power, normally Power 4, Power 5 conference team. So their defense looked good. So I got to give Texas credit for what I've seen on the field. I bumped Alabama up to number 4 like you did. I thought they looked impressive. I did drop Oregon down, but only 1 spot to number 5, because I do think they'll get that thing corrected. I do think Gabriel's going to be really, really tough to handle. I was very disappointed in their offensive line. I do think if they don't get better there, they're going to struggle in the Big Ten. I got Ole Miss at number 6. The reason I put them ahead of Penn State, because they beat them in the bowl game last year, so just head-to-head and some of the stuff that went on over the offseason, I put Ole Miss a little bit ahead of them. I got Penn State number 7. I bumped Miami all the way up to number 8. I mean, if you find a better offensive defense line in the ACC, I need to see it. So I think they win the ACC pretty easily, and they're going to be a top 4 team when it's all said and done. I got Notre Dame at number 9. I still have a little bit of issues with offense. I don't know if they're as explosive to play with a Georgia, Ohio State, or Alabama, but that defense is legit. I got Tennessee number 10. I put Michigan in at number 11. I do think they're going to give Texas all they want at home. That defense is still really good. And then I got a tie with Missouri and USC at number 12.
I just got interrupted. Let's go add your top 9. Who was number 10?
I have Tennessee at 10.
Tennessee 10, okay. And who's 11?
Michigan.
Okay, that's where I had Michigan.
And then I have Missouri, USC tied for 12 because I think both teams look really good. I think both teams have a chance to kind of sneak into the playoffs.
No Oklahoma?
No, I'm not there yet on them.
Okay. I was impressed with USC. I think they got good skill players. The defense what impressed me. You just haven't seen them play like that.
It's hard to turn around that culture in 1 year, but they played hard and played physical, and I was impressed.
It was a small thing, but a big thing to me with USC. I even posted it online when the game was going on. I couldn't believe, because in the past he wouldn't have done it. It was like 4th and 3 or whatever, and instead of being the lane Kiffin, I'm gosh dang it, I'm going for it. He actually took the points. It's like maybe he's finally learned.
And LSU didn't.
That's a big. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. Instead of getting nothing and being bravado, he actually took the points. You said something earlier.
Good for you.
You said something this morning that I agreed with, and nobody mentioned about it. I thought it was a huge play at FSU when he went for it.
Yeah, I didn't
get that.
I didn't understand that at all. The score was 14-6. It's like 4th and 7 at your own 40-yard line. What's the message? I was a defensive coach almost my whole life. So what does it tell you when your head coach on his own territory, very early in the third quarter, decides to go for a 4th and 7 or whatever it was? It was more than 5. And then he throws an interception. Obviously, that wasn't planned. And they ran back to the 10-yard line. To me, that was the game.
Yeah.
Game, set, match, done in like early in the third quarter. Will they do it again? Yeah, probably. They'll probably go for, the 4th and whatever. But I just don't get that whole mentality. I just don't get it. You won 13 games. You're supposed to be the big man on campus. Well, give your defense a chance to prove it. Now, I know they didn't do it the first half very well, but how do you know they're not going to turn it around? So instead of punting the ball and maybe putting it back to the 10, instead you throw a pick, and now you're on your own 10, and they score within like 2 plays on a wheel route that you couldn't cover the whole game, not one time. So Florida State, I just don't get them.
Did you give it?
I don't get it.
That looked like desperation to me.
You only mentioned 2 teams. You want to give us some more who you would have in there?
Well, it's all the ones that you mentioned. I mean, I didn't make a list. I didn't know I had to have a list, but it's not Southern Miss. Ole Miss rather kind of surprised me that they beat Furman that bad, because Furman's usually gives more resistance than that. I mean, I was surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Penn State played well. That kind of surprised me that it got out, 34-10 or whatever it was. I thought West Virginia would give them a better game than that. But Michigan's going to have all they want with Texas.
Yeah.
And I know it's at home. Good luck. I mean,
they got to figure out an identity on offense. I know they're a run-first team. Their quarterback's just not great. Their wide receivers aren't great.
I didn't watch not one play of Michigan. I just saw some of the replays.
Yeah.
And I saw what their quarterback stats were, and it wasn't that orgy guy. It was some other guy I never even heard of. He was like
Warren.
10 for 25 for like 105 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
and Donovan Edwards.
You're going to play Texas. You got to have way more than that.
Right. And Donovan Edwards, their big-time running back, they thought were going to come back and dominate this year. Some people were talking about him for the Heisman, just didn't look the part at all. I mean, a lot of that was offensive line struggles, too. I mean, they're breaking in new offensive line.
Right.
We'll see that jump, because we all know week 1 to week 2 is where you're going to make your most improvements. That way you got something on tape. You can go in there and coach them up. I still think this is going to be a tough game for Texas, because they still have one of the better defenses in the country. Michigan does. Going up there, 103,000 people. This is going to tell me a lot about this Texas team and if they're legit or not.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be a tough test.
If Michigan's able to run the ball consistently on them, I would have some worries about Texas, but we'll see.
Cannot wait. That, again, is noon, 11 o'clock Central Time kickoff, and I think that's on Fox.
I think that favors Michigan, too. I mean, they're used to playing that big noon, kickoff game, and Texas, that's a big-time game. I'm excited to see that one.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We'll come back and finish up today, which is a beautiful Tuesday. We hope you guys have a great week, and, I didn't get a chance to thank everybody earlier this morning, the people that get up and work every day. Having Monday off was pretty nice, a good holiday. God bless all you people that get up and work so hard like you all do. We really appreciate you guys. We got our high school stuff will be going on tomorrow. We'll have Bay High School on tomorrow, talking about Bay High School football. They started out, played really well at the beginning of the game, and it kind of got away from it, but we're looking forward to talking to Coach Brown tomorrow. My phone is going nuts. I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's. Also, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Their happy hours are unbelievable. You buy one draft beer, one margarita, one house wine, the next one's free. They got lunch specials Monday through Friday. On Thursday, they got karaoke. Thursday night's a popular place. It's always packed out on Thursday night. Great place to have birthday parties. You're seeing more and more of that there. Every night we're there, somebody's having a big birthday party there. Big facility, great food, great atmosphere. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Are there a ghost in here?
No, good. The hurricane warning, Coach. Better get your bag.
I'd be going.
He'll be in the closet with his helmet on by noon.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. You would not have. My brother-in-law left going back to Mississippi. He said the traffic leaving out of here, 331, 79, he said it was unbelievable.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Summer is over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Good.
So you didn't let him use your private plane, huh?
Nah, I said.
Had it parked.
Nah, I don't. I like him, but.
Not that much.
James Hale doesn't fly. He's like, he has the Madden Cruiser.
That's right. That's right.
He does not fly.
I got the charter bus. That's what I got. Oh, my God. Hey, get out to Taco Bell. Have a great time. I tell you, looking forward to listening to Patrick, what he thinks about everything. Next week, he'll be in here at 8:30 in the morning. Turpro Pest Control, #1. Not even close. They do a great, great job. That Cajun place, again, I'll be there at 11 o'clock for that Texas-Michigan game. We'll be right back. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, and we are home of the Auburn Tigers. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your touchdown headquarters for the Mosley Dolphins and the Auburn Tigers. Plus, premier college and NFL games. Your source for the most live football on the Gulf Coast in a rich audio experience.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and some clouds and a high of 92 with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 11 miles per hour. For tonight, some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and a high around 86. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michael Studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That was ugly.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Breaking news. This is on the internet, and I don't like it. I don't think they should have done this. Breaking news: the playoff committee. Let me get this right. The playoff committee had an emergency meeting late last night. They called for it. They all got together to laugh at FSU. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's
funny. Why are you laughing?
Did Jared Hale send it? Is that from Jared Hale?
No. But anyway, listen.
Yes, it is.
That sounds like Jared Hale.
What happened last year has no effect on what's going on right now.
I don't know. There's something wrong within that program, and it started when all those kids opted out and Georgia put a beating on them. I don't think they've actually recovered within the program and found out their true leaders. Who's leading those off-season workouts? Who's your dogs that refuse to lose?
And all the positive things we heard.
We didn't see any fight in them in either the Georgia Tech or Boston College game. Boston College let up on them. They kneeled when they could have punched it in, went up 35-13. That was an ugly, ugly, ugly game for Florida State. I think the pressure's getting to them.
Quickly the stadium emptied.
Oh, and they were booing him. I think the pressure has gotten to that program. Norvell, DJ. I mean, he looks just,
Oh, we got a phone call, right?
He has no confidence right now. So.
Let's take this phone call. Yeah. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing great, thank you. Who is this?
This is Rob. I called a few weeks ago and told you Clemson in practice. I got a buddy that's officials there.
Oh yeah.
And
I remember that. Yeah.
But I want to get you guys' opinion. I know it's week 1 review, but if you had to look at the ACC and the SEC and the Big Ten, who's your contenders and who's your pretenders? I mean, I know in my mind, I think Miami by far was the best.
Oh, there's no doubt.
In the ACC,
yeah.
Of course, you got Georgia, Texas. I can't tell you about Alabama. Even though West Kentucky's a better team than people think they are. I mean, they're a pretty good team. It's just, I think speed. Alabama had killed them.
I think.
But there's.
I think the Big Ten and the SEC is so much better than everybody else.
Yep.
And they might get upset here and there. And it's only going to be more separation going forward because the NIL money, the amount of money they're paying each team in those leagues is half of what everybody else is getting. That's a big deal, man. That's the reason FSU's trying to get out. Clemson's trying to get out. They know what's coming. And look, we beat Virginia Tech, and all we heard about how much better Virginia Tech's going to be. No, North Carolina. I'm not.
North Carolina barely beat Minnesota. I mean,
I'm not crazy about the ACC this year.
Finished 16th in the Big Ten. The ACC to me is Miami and everybody else. I mean, I think they're the only legit contender in that conference. I think the SEC is probably have the most contenders if you throw in Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Missouri. I mean, you could have said LSU, but not now. I don't think they're going to, make the cut unless they turn something around. But, Big Ten, you got Ohio State. You have to throw Michigan in there, defending champs.
Nebraska looked good. I mean,
Penn State, Oregon, USC upset LSU. So, to me, those are the two conferences that are probably going to get multiple teams, and I think ACC is the one team.
If they do it fairly. But they're going to. But then again, y'all guys remember, they're going to beat each other up. And I don't see anybody going undefeated.
I don't see anybody in the Big 12, to me, that's a real contender. They may get in the playoffs because they obviously have an automatic bid, but to me, there's no chance that anybody from the Big 12 is going to beat.
There's going to be a lot of love for Utah, UAC.
Yeah. But to me, they're not on the caliber of a Georgia, Alabama,
Oklahoma
Ohio State.
Those are the two.
Well, if you want Arkansas to beat Oklahoma State,
it's going to be a good
that way you're going to get more Big Ten, more SEC schools in there, I think. Who are yours? Tell us who you love. Who you like?
I think it's Miami and the rest. And I think that with so early in the SEC, I agree, guys. I mean, I think we're gonna see multiple. Teams gonna have 1 or 2 losses. It's just in the Big Ten and the SEC. My thing I think is bothers me the most is the mandated conference champions getting the playoffs.
Yeah.
We've already seen those conferences are not equal to the Big Ten and the SEC, period. They're not equal. They're not even, just face value, they're not equal.
Then you're
That's always been when I read that. I was concerned.
Well, what about you're going to have to take a Cinderella team that doesn't play anybody?
Yeah, non-Power 5.
Yeah, you reward them for a week conference, a week
Boise
schedule.
State.
Yeah, it probably will be there,
Yeah.
or maybe a Memphis. I don't know.
And I don't know if you guys saw this. It was on the game, it was the Florida State game, and a little trailer on the bottom. The Mountain West is not going to honor that pack, the Washington State and Oregon State. So next year, 2025, Oregon State and Washington State got to play an independent schedule. They're not going to be part of the Mountain West.
Wow.
So that's like the official end of the Pac-12 for sure. I mean, it kind of is anyway. But I saw that. I said, wow, that's kind of a big thing for them. Independent schedule.
It was odd watching the Stanford game, seeing the ACC logo on the field. I was like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? All right, guys. You have a great week. Thank you for your time. And
call back. Call back anytime you want. Anytime you want. Okay, that was a great call.
I travel so much, man. I'm in town. I'm headed out of town now, so I just have to.
The only chance the ACC has if it's Louisville. If
Louisville put the whooping up on somebody, who'd they beat?
Well, let me tell you something. Louisville has now gone to the same mindset as Alabama's gone all these years, and really still sticking to it this year. And play as many cupcakes as you can, and then win a couple of conference
7
games,
national
and
championships.
They'll get you to the thing.
How many national championships Louisville won?
Who did Louisville beat? It was bad.
Oh, it was Austin P.
Austin P.
Who did Alabama play this weekend? Who remember?
Nobody.
Who was it?
Western Kentucky.
It wasn't Kentucky.
School for the Blind. It was Alabama A&M?
No, that was Auburn.
That was Auburn.
That was
That's
Auburn.
right.
Alabama update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning.
And what happened? What happened with Florida? God bless America. Now, is Florida that bad or is Miami that good?
I think it's a little of both.
It's a little both.
That quarterback from Miami, boy, that's impressive.
Yeah, and their offensive defense line dominated. You didn't even need a quarterback. You could turn around and hand the ball off, and they would have won that
Do
game
you
against
think
Florida.
they'll get anybody from that weak ACC in their playoffs?
Well,
Do we have to take Miami?
Boston College, they looked good last night, didn't they?
Yeah, I was impressed with Bill O'Brien.
Georgia Tech's 2-0.
Oh my God! Yeah, the bad ACC, man.
And NC State, that's a big.
Was there any ACC teams that lost this weekend? Oh, Florida State, that was it.
Yeah,
that was the only one.
They got a lot of Florida State fans hurting out there. Do you want to say anything to them today?
Well, you know what? Keep your chin up.
Always tomorrow.
That's exactly right. Just remember, life is more important sometimes.
I will say this. We talked about this. I think their fans got unrealistic expectations based on last year. You have to stack high school recruiting, and I don't know if they have those big-time boosters that are willing to put that money up and compete on the high school recruits, because when you go against Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, now with Phil Knight money, Ohio State, they're going to buy these recruits. And if you're not competitive in that, then every year you got to go to the portal. And if you don't hit on 100% of those guys, you're going to fail.
Who's in a worse spot, Mike Norvell or Dabo Swinney?
Mike Norvell by a mile. I mean, the expectations were that they were going to compete. I think Dabo has 1-2 national championships, so he's earned himself a little bit of some leeway there. But that is a mess in Tallahassee.
Well, they were talking about buyouts in Clemson.
They might be tired of it, but Dabo could recorrect all this and start to attack the portal and embrace NIL, because they've always been good at that, even before it was legal. I mean, let's be honest.
He came up on game day. He was on game day walking the field. And
I saw that.
Pat McAfee was the only one with the nerve to stand up and address it. But I mean, and Dabo just danced around it again.
Yeah,
we're building a program.
Hey.
We're building a program.
Just go into the next show. We'll we'll keep going.
I'm sorry, did I bust up the deal in here?
Hey, you pumped up about that. You didn't like that ACC talk. I knew.
No, I did. Well, absolutely not.
I got a lot of. You stand up.
You better believe it. It just means more.
It just
means more in the ACC.
Unlike Scott Strickland, he's going to come up here and defend his conference. So let's get it.
I mean, at least he's fighting for it.
It's all about the ACC and the Big Ten.
I mean, he's wrong, but at least he's fighting for it. I mean, I got to give you credit.
Yeah.
I got to give you credit. It's just 1 week, guys. We got 12.
Long way to go.
2 weeks if you're Florida State
Short
fans.
time to
Actually,
get there.
13 more to go. We're out 104.3.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. James.